We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
As an unincorporated territory belonging to the United States, it serves as a tourist spot and a stationing base for the U.S. Navy. While for economic sustainability, tourism and fishing are what mainly keeps the islands afloat. Though before the contact with the Papalagi or foreigners in the 18th century, the Samoan people were farmers and fishers. They were religious from oral traditions, worshipping the gods of the land and other spiritual entities. They were dancers, musicians, and artists of well-known cultural customs like fire dancing and the tatau, or tattoo. It wasn't until the occupancy of the Europeans that it had begun to change. Their customs were outlawed and their gods abandoned. Eventually taken over by the Germans and Americans during the World War II, the Samoans were caught in his flames.
Initial contact with Europeans was violent. In exchange for protection, high chiefs of eastern Samoa allowed the United States to establish a coaling station in Pago Pago Bay. After years of civil wars and battles with foreign explorers, the Tripartite Convention of 1899 divided the Samoan Islands between Germany and the United States. Similar to negotiations in other U.S. territories, the negotiations took place between the colonial powers with virtually no input from the indigenous population. Germany claimed the western islands now known as Western Samoa, while the United States accepted the eastern islands of Tutuila and Manua. These eastern islands initially came under the administration of the United States Navy, who had heavy interest in the harbor of Pago Pago Bay, where the coaling station was already established. These islands became the U.S. territory of American Samoa. The monarchy was destroyed. The Treaty of Cession of Tutuila of 1900 was a treaty between several chiefs and the United States. The chiefs expressed their allegiance and ceded the island of Tutuila to the United States. The Treaty of Cession of Manua of 1904 ceded the island of Manua to the United States. The last sovereign of Manua, Tui Manua Elisara, refused to sign the deed and demanded autonomy. This resulted in several U.S. naval trials in Pago Pago, which became known as the Trial of Ipu. Ultimately, Tui Manua Elisara was forced to sign the treaty aboard the Pacific Squadron gunboat. Both of these treaties were ratified by the Ratification Act of 1929.
People who are born in American Samoa are not automatically granted U.S. citizenship and have no legal rights to become one. The 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution grants everyone who is born or naturalized in the United States U.S. citizenship, except for those who are born in American Samoa and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. According to the IRS, a U.S. citizen is an individual born in the United States, an individual whose parents is a U.S. citizen, a former alien who has been naturalized as a U.S. citizen, an individual born in Puerto Rico, Guam, or the U.S. Virgin Islands. These people who are a part of the United States are denied the same rights as U.S. citizens, such as the rights to vote and the rights to a jury trial. On the very last page of their passports, it states the bearer is a United States national and not a United States citizen. The people of American Samoa are denied the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution because American Samoa is considered to be an unincorporated territory, so therefore they are not entitled to the constitutional citizenship at birth.
Why is American Samoa important to the U.S.? Before the acquisition of the Philippines in 1898, the U.S. needed naval bases in the Western Pacific. The harbor at Pago Pago was used as a military fueling station. During World War II, American Samoa became even more important to the U.S. when it was used as a staging point in the Pacific theater. Even today, the Pacific region is crucial to U.S. militarization of Asia, Middle East, and Africa. Although American Samoa still remains an unincorporated territory of the U.S., ironically, it is ranked 6th per capita all of the states and territories in the military recruits. Another important motivation for a U.S. military presence. Furthermore, just like Guam military, enrollment can become a family tradition. But the biggest reason for Samoan enrollment in the military is economic. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, as of September 30, 2015, the minimum wage in Samoa in the fish canning industry is $5.26. American Samoa is a territory where federal minimum wage legislation doesn't apply. In 2010, half of local households has an annual income of $24,000 or less. Unfortunately, Samoa's relationship with the U.S. is typical of most colonial ones. But the real question, is American Samoa American?
Is American Samoa American?
Is American Samoa really American?